Hello, Doc Ash. I'm not going to spend much time out here besides being cold. We got a lot of tree trimmers in the background, so it's a little noisy. Did as much as I could to consolidate your 300D parts. The thing that I cannot find at this point is a generator. I see the generator cradle right there, and we've also got a starter, but no generator. Parts that I do not believe belong to this engine are this fan blade. This is, I imagine it's off the 600, your taillight bezel, and I believe this should be the crank pulley for the 600, and a tool kit. And then this is a clock, and as you can see, it's a 100 part number. And then in here is a fuel gauge. So those items will go with you. Okay, now inside we've got the here's the fuel pump off the 300D and the fuel injectors. I'm going to get that sent off to be rebuilt before the finest rebuilder in the United States retires. Get that taken care of for you. I've already called him. He says he'll accept that one last job. This block, this is your block, and I do remember this engine. I consulted on this engine, and they took it to my machinist, and I remember this one was the block that got sleeved, and then during the process of the sleeving, the machinist called me and wanted me to bring over a head gasket so he could check final machine work on the block. So I've actually consulted on your engine. Now then, 190SL, this is more complete clearly, and something that I can identify with a lot easier. So this is what your engine looks like when it came in. One thing we're going to refresh is these are the rocker arms and the shaft, and when we get done with them, there is no lateral movement or play in them. And I'm going to recommend that we go through yours, because you can see yours move back and forth way too much. So we'll take these off and refresh them. Now then, what we are missing on your engine, and I'll show you. I'll go over the list, and here's my list, and at the same time show you on this 190SL engine. We'd like your transmission, and that's because the transmission, we can reseal it or check it to see if it needs to be rebuilt, but also the engine and transmission go into the car as one unit, and we can test everything as a complete unit. In addition to that, I did not find your exhaust header, and to secure the exhaust header to the transmission are 3 brackets. This one's on the header itself. There's an intermediate bracket, and then this bracket is bolted onto the transmission and the bell housing, and this has to be bolted on first because the bolts come from the inside of the bell housing out, and the only way you can access them obviously is to have the bell housing transmission off the car and then assemble them as a unit. Next, let's see, going down the list of goodies here, there's a vent pipe. Now let's go over here and show you what the rest of your 190SL parts here. We've got your air collector, fan. Oh, that reminds me, didn't see a fan for the 300D, but fans are all the same. Should not be a problem. Valve cover, starter for the 190SL, thermostat housing, intake manifold, water pump pulley. The fuel pump that came with the car is incorrect. We'll get the correct water pump. And this is the vent tube for the Solux carburetors. And this is the fuel line from the pump to the carburetors. And this has been cut to fit this incorrect fuel pump. So we will correct all that, get a new fuel line and a new correct original fuel pump. So the things that we are missing off your engine, and this is what they should look like: correct fuel pump, correct fuel line, Let me go over through my list here. The adapter to the blocked for the fuel pump. We already discussed the fuel line, and I know you had Solexes on this because you had that vent tube that I just showed you. This is what the vent tube should look like, and it goes to the Solex carburetors, which, by the way, I did not see any Solex carburetors. All your throttle linkage rods are missing. That's not a problem. I have those in stock, but nonetheless, I just want to let you know that they're missing. Carburetor support rod. Support rod is missing along with the drain tube assembly. You've got the bracket on your block for the support rod, but no support rod. Let's see what else. Water pump. You'll get a new water pump anyway. Distributor. Distributor goes here, and I did not see a distributor. In addition to that, we'd have your the spark plug wire loom is missing. Obviously, we will get you a new clutch and pressure plate. It goes back there. But in order to do the transmission, we'll also need the clutch fork down here, which should be included inside the bell housing along with the throwout bearing. And then a generator. The original cars had a generator. There's an adapter, an aftermarket alternator that is made, which is a lot better than the original generator. It just depends on how original you want your car to be, but we recommend the alternator. Puts out more electricity and is much more reliable. And so those are the things that we can find at this point to make a complete vehicle or complete engine. And so take a look around. Let's see, that's right. Did I see an oil filter assembly? Oil filter? No, I don't think I saw an oil filter unit on in your inventory. So take a look around, see if you have any of these parts still with you someplace or in another location, and let me know what you can find, and what you can't I can dig up. I either have an inventory or we can find someplace in the world. Thank you, sir.